This Gamerz Roundtable podcast. I just shrunk a little bit.
Yes, he did. He does that a lot, actually. I think it's just some kind of condition.
And we have a new guest, David Brown.
Hello.
New fighter. He's quite the puzzle master.
Challenger approaching.
Yes.
Except we're not actually fighting, we're just discussing random stuff.
Yes.
Amazing games of 2014.
Amazing.
This one is actually in preparation for our Game of the Year awards and
Yes.
for our channel plans for next year.
Yep.
So I guess what we're going to do is just go through each one of these, but we're not discussing our top 10 because we got to save that for the Game Awards.
Later, yes.
So we're just going to go through each game of the notable ones and just kind of talk about our favorites. Let people know what games came out, what games we're voting on.
I would like to say I'm extremely behind on games right now because I've been working on Fallout, our last chapter. I haven't played like any of these. I know that's horrible, but I've been too busy. Yeah, I hope people like it. It's very awesome.
You are forgiven if you ever play Thief.
Yes, I haven't played it. Well, I played it here a little bit,
Yeah,
but I haven't actually played it. Got a little supernatural there, didn't it?
Well then, whoever wants to take the final first.
Well, I'm just going to start with my favorite, and then we'll just go around and just pick one and talk about it. Mario Kart 8.
Amazing.
I love this game.
Still haven't got to play it.
You
Crazy
will.
fun.
I know, I got to play it.
Crazy fun.
'Cause it looks awesome.
It is. It's my favorite in the series.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I still think Smash Bros. is way better though. But
Wow.
that's just me. I love Smash Bros.
Everyone's entitled to an opinion, even if they're not no good. Even if they're wrong, it's nothing wrong with that.
I love Mario Kart, but this, Smash Bros. And Mario Party are the games that if you play with a large group of people,
Just the
Yeah.
exhibition.
and it's honest to God truth, you're most likely going to end up hating
I
your
will-
friends by the end of the
I
night.
will say Mario Kart 8, that's, you can pick it up and play anytime, like,
That's true.
it don't matter how many times you
And
play
it is
it.
extremely competitive.
It is
Oh,
it's the most
The
replayable
moment
game.
someone knocks you out of first place, you want to
hate.
murder them. You're like, that is it.
That's what I'm
It is
saying.
on.
That's when you lose your friends
Kill
because you're
them.
trying to kill because of
But you
Mario
can play
Kart.
Mario Kart with anybody.
You
like,
can,
I love it.
absolutely. And that's why, like, I think I'm excited for Smash Bros. Not just because it came to 3DS, but it's coming to Wii U too. It's an easy game for everyone to play, and even if you don't have a lot of skill in Smash Bros, you can still pick it up and just get the general idea.
There was a 10-year-old girl
Uh-oh.
in California,
Uh-oh.
and GameStop had a tournament. Okay, and I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they said it was the Wii U version. They had the demo and they had a tournament, but it might have been the 3DS version. But either way, 10-year-old girl beat some of the top players, and she made it like into the final round
Holy cow.
of Smash Brothers. That shows you that anybody can pick it up and be just as good as a skilled player.
Well,
Hey.
just like Mario Kart, if you like Smash Bros, if you have skill, it pays off, but it also causes you to be a giant troll if you're really good at it. Because that's, especially certain characters, I'm not gonna say who, but some characters are just really wow powerful, and there's nothing you can do against them. That's every fighting game. Shadow of Mordor, great,
Great.
great,
I haven't played that one either.
holy cow, great,
I got to try it out last night, and
so
it blew
much
my mind.
fun, so much fun.
I've got it, just haven't played it either.
I would not be upset at this at all if this one game beat.
I wouldn't
I would
either.
not be
That's
upset
good.
at all. It's really good. Fantastic. I wasn't like, I've been a fan of Lord of the Rings, but I wasn't like super huge into it. I'm more of a Star Wars person. But this made me love Lord of the Rings
Yeah,
crazy amount because of this game.
so much to do in it. It's
So much. It's a big open world. Like I thought Mordor was gonna bore me, like the world of Mordor, I was gonna get bored, but so much fun.
side quests galore.
And the combat too.
Legendary weapons.
Like I didn't mind just to go around and fight people. I was just like, I just want to
Kill them.
kill
all!
Well, I didn't want to become a serial killer, but
Everybody remember who you are if you kill them.
yep.
Being punished for getting killed by them getting stronger.
That was the coolest concept of
Yeah.
the whole game. Just
It's like, oh, you had a tough time with this person. Well, guess what? It's gonna be tougher next time.
and it just made me angry. Like every time I lost with like a low level orc, I'm like, you got promoted, jerk.
Remember when you lost that, that chief? Well, he's a war chief.
Now he's working, and you gotta go kill him because
You
he's
got
like
freaking love because now he's immune to long range attacks.
It makes me so mad sometimes because I'm like, I frequently, I remember playing through that game and I would lose to an orc and I would be in the middle of a story mission. I'd finish the story mission and I go, want to go get revenge. I don't care about the
Or
story.
you're in the middle of a story mission and you're trying to kill War Chief, and then like every captains just keep getting around you, and they're just like, hey. Next thing you know, you're fighting like 10 captains in the middle of your freaking story mission.
That happened to me right when I turned it on, and I got to like how many, 3 or 4?
Yeah.
And I was like the first one I couldn't even handle because like he was really high up already, and I was like, okay, I can't do this. I was like,
It's
I
a
can't.
tough game, but it's
Yeah.
once you get to a certain
Level and upgrades.
it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Walking Dead Season 2. I actually liked it pretty well. I thought it was good, especially the ending, which I won't spoil, but
Really good.
you know,
What's interesting about the ending without spoilers
yes.
is that your first option, well, each option, you've got 2 options, and each option has 2 other options you can pick.
Yeah.
So, like, your story in the season 3, when they do it, is going to be opposite ends of the map, completely different
Yeah.
choices, and
Oh,
that
yeah.
is
It's gonna
I
insane.
had to do
Wow.
both. I had to do both.
So what got me though, Zoe, seriously, is there a more depressing game than this one? Hey, as soon as something good happens, you can expect someone
Yes.
to die. They introduce someone.
Yes, there is a more depressing game.
Really? You gotta be kidding me.
He's going to pull out Thief Hunter.
Oh. Yeah, that's true.
You mean by atmosphere. That's
Yeah.
what you're-
I was gonna say The Last of Us.
I get
but
depressed when I
it's
play that
not
game.
my count.
Yeah. What got me through this? I mean, like, literally, everybody you meet either betrays you, is crazy, or dies. I mean, it's
That's
like
what
the
I love
same
about
thing all the
Telltale.
time.
They can take any franchise and they don't ruin that franchise. They don't put their own stuff into that franchise. They're like, this is the franchise. This is what people love, so we're going to do that.
Yeah.
And then they just make their games with it. That's
It's
awesome.
ridiculous, man, because I'm telling you, it's just,
Because
Oh,
I mean,
it's depressing.
when you play like The Walking Dead versus Wolf Among Us, which we'll talk about later, or
yeah.
Sam and Max, or the difference between Sam and Max and Wallace and Gromit, like they're each one is perfect in its
Yeah.
own way.
Each do
I
their
love
own
the
thing.
way they do it. Like
That's great.
when you play Jurassic Park, it's like you sat down and Steven Spielberg put it together.
Back to the
It's like
future.
Back to the Future,
Back to
yes.
the future, yeah. That would be.
It's like that's what it looks like.
So it.
Yeah, let's get that off the page.
But yeah, definitely
It
play
burns
this.
my hands to touch it.
I really enjoyed it. It's really good. I liked it. I liked it, but gosh, that
Smells
ending.
like thief.
Yes, play it. It's good.
Your
You won't
turn.
regret it.
You're good, bud.
I know which one.
Yeah,
You want this one?
Yes, that's actually my pick for game of the year so far.
that one's actually pretty good.
I think it's probably the best adapted game of this
gosh.
year. Yeah, and I wouldn't be upset about that if it was Game of
Like,
the Year.
I'm actually going to probably 100% it just to get more gameplay out of it because I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's like the Arkham franchise. It's so faithful
Check this
to
out.
what it
Yes.
is.
Yeah, it really
That's
is.
what makes it
Like, there's been a lot of South Park games.
My charger working?
nothing like
Nothing
that.
like that.
I got it.
The RPG element too.
Oh,
I
I
thought I didn't know how I was gonna feel about that, but once it started, there's nothing better for it.
Yeah.
It works so
Yeah.
well.
I'm a sucker for a good RPG, and that's
There's some really messed up stuff in there. I
Holy
mean,
cow, yeah.
it kept with the show.
bedroom scene.
But it
Yeah.
wouldn't be South Park.
Oh my god.
That's one where you
I
go,
mean, dodge the, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It wouldn't. It
Kind of
wouldn't.
trying to make sure nobody else is in the room.
Yeah.
It wouldn't
Hey,
be South Park.
It's
but-
kind of like Barbie, but way worse. They know what I'm talking about. See, that's what they were implying. They didn't
Yeah.
show it like that, but that's what they were
Dear
implying.
God.
I'll put a link in the description because
Messed up.
I think it was me, Josh, and Mary Lou back at the beginning of the year in April. I think we actually did a podcast on the games that had come up to that point,
Yeah.
and we spent a considerable amount of time because like that South Park: The Stick of Truth was probably the best game on the table at that point,
Yes.
and we spent the majority of that podcast just
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about South Park. So, and that says something, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's basically like playing an episode of the show. I mean, it has all the best characters there, you know?
Yep.
So it's like they didn't really leave
It's
anything
like
out of it.
it's like Telltale made the game.
Yeah, exactly.
They were just true to what people like when they watch the show. So
Yeah.
if you're a fan of the show, you're gonna love the game.
Oh, yeah.
Truthfully, Ubisoft has been on a roll this entire year.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I mean, they're just tearing it up like crazy.
They've got a lot. Ubisoft always does.
I mean,
They pump them out like
by
crazy.
far, I think
And they're
this
not
is-
weak games either.
Like
But you take a
pregnant,
lot
they're
of
like a pregnant lady. They can't stop. They're like,
yeah,
I
just
mean,
keep coming. Pump them out.
They're always in labor. They're
Yeah,
always working on something great.
that's right.
I used to say all the time that I believe that 2K was like the best game developer, like they always have like the best release, like Borderlands and BioShock. But now I'm firmly convinced that Ubisoft is by far the best publisher. Like they just not only do they roll out every
Yeah.
year,
It's the
What
amount of
they're-
content too.
the amount of
each of the
content,
games.
they're good, solid games. None of them are like just whatever. Every game, even their handheld systems, are just gold.
I keep it
Yeah, I know, it keeps going down.
He's shrinking.
Not to mention Man Bear Pig. I'm
Thief is
Man Bear Pig.
that was weird.
Man Bear Pig.
on. That is true.
Speaking of
But-
thief,
Well, I was going to say, speaking of Ubisoft, we'll just go straight into one of the games we picked out.
Watch Dogs. Now, haven't I got to play that yet? No, I haven't got to play it. But everybody says it's disappointing.
I don't think it's disappointing either.
I really enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. I think my only complaint with the game, and truthfully, like, I give it a 9 out of 10, and that's honest.
Yeah.
That's the best I can give it. And the reason why is because for all that they said you can control with your cell phone, they promised that there's so much more potential there.
Yeah, if you go by expectations, then a lot of people are disappointed. But look at Assassin's Creed 1 and how far it's come.
Yep.
That's
No,
the
great
first
game.
one.
Well, see, that's why I firmly say that, just like AC2 raised the bar
Yeah,
like crazy.
That's still my favorite Assassin's Creed.
I still think that Watch Dogs 2 is going to blow everyone out of the
And see,
water.
and that left this one so open as well.
I
The ending, it's like it can go because they said that it was going to other
Yeah.
cities and stuff. So it's like that's going to be incredible.
Well, see, as much as I like Aiden, I don't know if he's like that. He's kind of like Altair. Like, I don't know if he's that one franchise person I want to follow.
See, if they could easily go to different hackers in different cities, and
Yeah.
it would be awesome.
Okay.
Well, see, they even had the DLC with a different character. didn't they?
T-Bone. T-Bone was cool. I like T-Bone.
Yeah.
Which see, I like Aiden as well. But see, that's my problem. Like I like characters. Like I love
Yeah.
Altair, and I think he would be my favorite until Connor came around.
Mm.
But that's okay.
Just for the record, who is excited about Mr. Arno tonight? Because honestly, from the way
He's pretty awesome.
he looks really interesting, but honestly, from the way they seem to have developed the character, he looks like he's Ezio, but with a more personal
Yeah.
stake in everything.
I mean, the thing about Unity coming out is it really does remind me kind of like AC2.
Oh,
They're kind of
that's my favorite.
yeah, because they're building up this story, more of a personal
I love
story. Free the people, basically. So, I mean, that's
and
really
the
cool.
love
The people should be.
Yeah, exactly.
Free the people.
Free the
And
people.
the-
Free
and
the
love
people.
interest with the Templars. I think that's a unique take because I have a feeling that Arno's going to end up being the first. I mean, Edward kind of did it, and this is why I like Edward so much. Hardcore, and you may understand this, hardcore Creed fans will probably hate me for this, but I absolutely love the fact that Edward was the first of the assassins to go, this isn't really helping me or helping really. I mean, you guys are kind of doing your own thing, they're kind of doing their own thing. I'm just going to get in the middle of it and just take what I want.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's okay, but the interesting thing about Edward, and this is why I love him to death, was he started out like that, but he grew into probably one of the most effective assassins of the whole franchise. I mean, people are like, well, he didn't do that much. And he took out half of the Templars on the Northern American side. Well, that's North American and South American side. But I mean, he did do a lot. He stopped them from getting the observatory, which is a big deal because that weapon was dangerous. And I firmly believe that Edward was a good contributor. Not as much as Ezio. Nowhere near. Ezio was like, I've done everything for the crew.
Your friends say, you mess with me, you die.
That's exactly right. Like,
Even when I'm 80 years old.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll
You
kill
don't
you in my
mess with
sleep.
Ezio. You do not mess with Ezio. That's the golden rule. But I think Arno is going to be that extension of Ezio. I really do.
Yeah. He seems like the closest to him in a lot of ways. Like willing to do more for the good of all, basically.
Well, see, that's what I felt like Connor and Ezio, and even kind of Altair in a way. They all had like something tragic happen to them.
Yeah, they all did.
And they just went into the Creed. Either they were already in it, or they just went into it non-question, like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. You guys are willing to help me, and then I'm going to grow into become a better person and an assassin. And again, this goes back to Edward. Edward was already kind of no offense, he was just a jerk. And he became a better person by the end of it. And that's what I love so much about Edward, because it's like a normal guy. Like, he was like the normal person.
Yeah.
Like, anyone could be like that. Come into the Assassin and Templars and be like, this is crazy. Why on earth are you guys doing this? And then by the end of it, he becomes exactly what he should be.
That's the thing.
That didn't quite meet my expectations.
And I can't play that. Thank you, Bungie.
So,
Seriously, see, I have a horrible internet, and you like capped off at 12 gigs. Will not let me play because it just gets beat right up. So I can't play it.
so my
That's just
5 things to describe this game. Addictive, sad, low expectation actually. Like, I was really shocked that So my high expectation, way more than Watch Dogs actually, was severely like low.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this is not what I thought it was going to be at all. And exciting in a way because it's new for Bungie. And then I think my last phrase to do it, and I hate to say this, but it's like in every review, was repetitive. I mean, very.
Well, I know just from like what little bit I got to play that you start out like the same area every time and then have to walk to the new area.
And I was
really
expecting
strange.
like a big 60-hour RPG.
Yeah,
The
shooting.
campaign, I think, was the.
That's what they were saying. It was like this big RPG adventure. And the campaign's like, what, 10 hours?
I mean, truthfully, that was my whole reason to get excited for the game, because I wanted to know the mythology. Because Halo, for God's sake, has such a giant mythology.
Yeah, and any game you give up Halo to start working on, you think it's gonna be big.
It's got to be something.
It's gonna be something awesome.
And I mean, they had a mythology, but what made me mad is they basically want you to download their second companion app, get the Grimoire cards, and then research it yourself. No, I want to be told. It's like a movie, a film, and that's just.
Now it did. I don't play online a lot, and it did get me to. It's so seamless that I played some of the online.
Some of the online, like
It was alright.
the Crucible, was.
It
like
kind
you
of
said,
forces you, but
Yeah, because especially if you want to level up a lot
Yeah.
of times or get better gear, you have to go to the Crucible.
and then everybody's just running around your world where it's always online. So
That aspect,
I like that.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really engaging. My biggest complaint about the game, and this is where I love Borderlands to death, is the loot system.
oh yeah,
Holy cow, does Destiny rob you? And I know they've made patches, I know they've fixed a lot since day one, but there's not been times when I've got a legendary and even an exotic engram thinking I'm going to get this awesome item, go back and I get a common bracer or a gun, and I'm like,
Cheat. That's just not right. You should. I mean, that's kind of strange that they did that anyway, because you think like if you got something really like wow, rare, you're gonna get something special for it.
well, see, this is also me saying maybe just like Watch Dogs, maybe they'll learn, because they've already said they've got a Destiny 2 in development, which is no offense already.
Yeah, I know.
You're jumping into the boat.
yeah.
I thought that was kind of strange because I thought that was like a 10-year plan for Destiny.
Well, they said content will continue to leak into this one for 10 years.
for 10 years.
But they're also going to develop sequels.
Maybe that one will have an offline mode.
Maybe
Maybe.
because it was the biggest like non-established title.
Yeah.
that came out,
I mean,
so
it broke records, and
Yeah.
rightfully so. I mean, they did really well promoting it. And like,
Yeah.
you got everyone excited. And in some ways,
By
just with
this
the
game, it's your destiny.
Crucible and like, not even really. Honestly, I don't even know how I can get this game praised for. Like, I guess just the marketing hype was just the best thing about it. It's not a disappointment. It's not a bad game because it's really hard to make a bad game.
It's a good game.
It's just not what they promised.
No.
And on top of that, the best thing I can say about it is this is the most fun I've had with a first-person shooter since I played GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64. I had so much fun with it. Like, something about the gameplay, they nailed it. Like, even though there wasn't a story, and even though the online was kind of broken sometimes, like, just playing, like, if I were to pick it up right now and just go and start playing or doing missions or playing online, I would have a lot of fun. Just shooting things and just engaging in that.
I agree.
So would you say it was Halo's combat evolved?
I would say it's unevolved.
Yeah.
Like, you're absolutely right. Like, I don't think that you feel underpowered at all, actually, in Destiny. Especially whatever your class is, when you unleash your super for the first time. That's just so amazing. And you just feel like you're in charge of the whole, until you run into a higher enemy. But I mean, still, that's the best thing about it. You can level up to face them. But yeah, I absolutely agree with you, Joe. That was probably the best thing about Destiny was the gameplay aspect.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say nice about it, though. So. Josh, your go.
Oh,
Alright, let's see. There's another one that I've got to experience about half of it, I guess, maybe. The Evil Within.
I haven't got to that
Okay, you haven't got to that. Have you?
I beat it. I
You
love it.
beat it? Dude, do you know what? Like, I gotta say, this had some really creepy parts, but it was a lot or I guess more combat oriented than I thought it would be.
It's like a flashback to the retro style survival
It
horror. What
was.
made the survival horror genre popular, like Resident Evil.
I was about to say Resident Evil, like
that's-
hardcore.
Like it doesn't rely on jump scares to scare you
No.
in this game. It's just
It's
it
like
puts you in
trying to live.
situations where you're like, I do not want to do this, or I can't do this because I don't have ammo, or you are just running. Like you
Yeah.
can't do anything else but run.
creepy.
The last
And I love it.
Yes.
Remember sequences where you were stuck in a
Yeah.
room full of clickers and buggers, and you had like one bullet.
Yeah.
And
That's
you knew if I screw up,
you're
it's over.
screwed. Yeah, you're dead, man.
Those moments in Uncharted
Yeah.
when you're running from a collapsing bridge and it's just a really intense moment, it's like this
Yeah.
times 10.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, this thing was really tense
And
moments.
some people complained about the story.
No,
Yeah, which
And what
I didn't think.
My biggest
I mean, I got
complaint with that is it ended like if you were watching a scary movie, it
Mhm.
ended like it should end. You know,
Yeah.
the main character. I can't spoil anything.
Yeah, no
But,
spoilers.
Of course,
No spoilers.
your
I-
main
actually-
character is fine, but the
Yeah.
problem is everything else isn't fine.
I think I know what's
That's-
going on.
that's what's cool.
From where I'm at, which has something to do with roofing.
It's,
Exactly
I mean,
say
it's,
that,
it's
but
by far one of the best games of the year. I'm not
yeah,
blowing it up or anything. It's the honest to God. It's the truth.
good lord, some of those sequences are hard, man. I mean, you don't have any ammo, and they're like throwing like 15 people at you at once. You're like, what am I gonna do? Which, if you find a lever, pull it. Most of the time, it's arrows that are deadly.
Which I think, honestly, that and all these except for Destiny should be definitely considered.
Oh,
for
yeah.
Oh yeah, because this one,
Well, I mean,
you know, they complain
even
about the
Destiny,
graphics too.
like
I mean, I can see it.
because there are games in this table that are worse than Destiny. I'm just going to say that right now,
yeah.
and we'll get to that one. at some point.
There you go.
Well, I was mainly talking about this pile, like
Well, yeah.
specifically.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of, what do you think about that dog though? The mouth on the side
Oh,
of the
the
neck.
two heads.
Yes.
I hated that
We're
part.
Yeah,
so
that's
bad.
get
horrible.
We're eventually gonna get to
That
it.
was horrible.
You know
But
what?
yeah,
You know what I
pick this
had?
up.
Like at the end, it came down to I had one sniper rifle bullet, and that thing was still after me, and I was like, I can't. I
Yeah.
shot it and it didn't kill it, so I literally had to run until I found more. And
What got me though? She had to go back and get his glasses. Old JoJo's glasses there.
Yeah, that part made me mad too. I was
Yeah, it's
like,
like,
you've
oh,
got to be kidding.
You gotta be
The
kidding me.
man
Let's go
can't
back.
see. He's
Yeah.
gonna die anyway.
One of them was cracked, and he's like, I left my glasses back there. And it's like, all right, I'll go get them. But you know, he didn't like really attack too much that second time. It was just get the glasses, run back. But it had me worried and freaked out.
Actually, he will attack.
Yeah, he
if
will
you don't
attack.
sneak that down to
Yeah.
get him. And let me tell you my favorite thing about this, and this is something really rare that games need to do, because all of us in a way are collectors.
Yeah.
And I like box art and manuals. And the thing I like about this is it's reversible. So the outside is your game and it gives you your details, and it's very detailed actually, but the actual
Inside.
case looks
Yeah.
like it's a Blu-ray, and it describes the game perfectly.
Yeah,
I love
that
it.
is nice.
I love it. So.
Yeah,
that's
pick that one up. That one's good.
Your turn.
Good. Good. Good.
Murder Still Suspect.
I've not got to play this one either.
I enjoyed it, but
It's
I wish it was longer,
I do too.
and I wish it had a higher replay value.
I think
It's
my-
really good though.
Much after
I think the studio shut down the made it already because they didn't get enough money.
I think truthfully it was a very underrated game. Like it needed
I do
more
too.
hype to it, much more. Because it was really interesting. It really was. It just
I love those style of games anyway. So.
Yep. Yeah, if it had the marketing that Destiny had, it would have probably done great.
Really well.
But I don't know.
But once you play it, though,
It's
it's
so good.
yeah, that's pretty much it. No replay value really. Nothing.
No, not
See,
really.
and this is another problem we had with Destiny and Watch Dogs. If they were to be able to make a sequel, I'm sure they could improve on those things. And it would be cool to have the sequel to that.
Yeah.
But I don't think we'll see one. But that's okay. It was good for what it was.
Kind of do need the studio, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, Square Enix owns
Yeah.
the property to this. So I mean, they could give it to another studio.
yeah.
Crystal Dynamics, just saying.
Well,
Square's pretty
I'm just
busy.
saying, Square's new president better be taking them in the right direction. Because man, they're all over the place, truthfully, and like they need to get their crap together big time. Because I remember a time with the original Final Fantasy, like the 10, that Square was like
The best.
the best. You did not ever cross Square, and now they're like barely struggling to make profits. Especially the first Tomb Raider. Like I thought the first Tomb Raider would do buckets and buckets of money, and
Yeah.
to come to find out that it didn't even sell as much as they.
Microsoft didn't really help them out on that either because they were like, yeah, it's an exclusive to Xbox One, and then they're like, oh, I'm sorry, it's just a time exclusive afterwards.
Truthfully, I hate to say that against Tomb Raider. I think it's awesome for Microsoft to kind of say, hey, we're doing this, but I think that's a
It's gonna hurt Tomb Raider sales.
Yeah, I think so too.
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah, because I mean, the first one was excellent, really. I mean, it was good. It was fun.
I'm still gonna buy it.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Like, it's just happening.
yeah, absolutely. I think that well, there's a lot of 2015, so that would be amazing. But that's
why
definitely.
everybody should have every system to experience all the games.
I'm gonna go ahead and pick
Yes!
Wolf Among Us.
Just haven't played, but I
Holy cow!
This is one of my favorite Telltale games I've ever played.
Yep. It probably is my favorite.
I like it when Telltale takes me to a series I know nothing about.
Yeah.
So, like Sam & Max, that's one of my favorite games of all time too.
I would definitely put this on my
Wolf Among Us.
top 5 or even top 3 of the game of the years. Like it's
I can tell
fantastic.
with the way the characters are and the way the environments are and the way they colored things that they took the time to go back to these comic books. And they started in like 2002. And they took the time, they went back and they studied these characters and they made them what they are. And that's really cool.
Such a good story.
I love
too.
Telltale.
Like everything that they did with this one, especially I love The Walking Dead. I really do. In fact, that's the only Walking Dead thing that I like anymore. Sorry, Walking Dead fans. I don't like the TV series. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I started watching this new season and I'm like, I'm done.
The game's actually what made me watch the show.
Well, see, the games itself.
That's Telltale.
That's my Walking Dead. It's kind of like, for us, like, who's your favorite Batman? Christian Bale? No. Kevin Conroy.
Kevin Conroy, man.
Come on, who's that? He's in the animated series!
Exactly.
Come on!
Who's your favorite Joker?
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill.
God!
Of course.
But that's,
me too.
this is my Walking Dead, absolutely. Just like you said, it makes you watch the show. But I'm a lot like Justin. I didn't know anything about The Wolf Among Us. No idea about the comic book history. But after I played that,
Interested in it.
Holy cow.
Me too.
so
I have that advertisement at the end. Check this out if you want to know what happens.
I mean, without a doubt, it's. I'm gonna let a limb here, but I'll go ahead and say it. It's much because Walking Dead's already had their. It's by far right now the most interesting Telltale game. To me, as much as I love Walking Dead, it's just because it's new.
Yeah.
It's a new start for them, and I would like to see where.
See, I'm actually going to be getting out here soon. I gotta finish this
You're
fall.
in for a treat.
Yeah.
What I like about The Wolf Among Us is it has a great story just the way it is, but I like that it plays on deeper themes that you can't solve in just one game. And like how the government is completely broken. Their government is broken. I love that. And they try to fix it, but it's like no matter what they do, there is no right or wrong answer. There is no, it's not black and white. It's all mixed up, and I like that.
What did you,
really
not
like
to spoil anything, what did you think about that ending?
It left me wanting more. It left me feeling incompleted, and I like that because I'm like, if they do a sequel, then that will quench my thirst. That's going to make me buy the movie.
Well, when said character said that quote and then left,
Yeah.
and Biggie B's just standing there, and then like it took me for a second, like I was with Big B, like,
Exactly.
and then like I instantly was like, go after her.
It's like you realize it, and you're like, oh no, like something's not right here, and you have to make a decision. And you know, like any Telltale game, that is going to influence the next game.
Yeah.
And it's hard to tell if you made the right one or not. Like either one you pick, I mean, it's like you don't know.
Yeah.
Absolutely, definitely one of my favorite games of the year, without a doubt.
Your turn. Next game.
I'll
I'm
pick
gonna
my
have to start picking from the 3DS
pick
pile.
one of my favorite PlayStation franchises.
You're the one that plays it the most.
Infamous.
It's actually, I like Infamous too.
Yeah.
But I do like Dustin Rowe way better.
This is actually my favorite.
Really?
Do you know how I describe this to people? If you compare Infamous, the whole series, to Marvel, Infamous 1 and 2 to me are like the Marvel comics, and Infamous Second Son to me is like the movie adaptation of the comics.
I can see that.
And I like that a lot.
I agree.
I haven't started.
Like in terms of
You need to.
cinematic and I think storytelling, I think this one wins. Because I firmly believe Infamous 2 had the more established world,
Yeah, it did.
and you kind of knew what Cole was all about and where it was going to go.
This was
And
kind of
just-
like a start over, basically.
yeah, and it's kind of like the Infamous one. Like Infamous One was my favorite, one of my favorite games of 2009, but it wasn't like.
And climbing
Holy
poles.
Oh God.
He knows what I'm talking about.
Can't do that as much with Delson.
Yeah, but still, I find ways.
But I like. This is like an Edward Kenway thing for me. I love Delson to death. He's one of my favorite. He's one of my favorite PlayStation mascots, and one of my favorite game characters. So it's like, I think it's because of the brotherly thing that I can relate to so much with him, and just his crazy sense of humor about how awesome it is to have superpowers. That for me just made that character, and like it was cool to see him kind of grow from that kind of the outcast delinquent to a hero. I think that really spoke.
Or the villain, depending on how you play.
Honestly,
but I don't play the villain. I
the
like
villain itself was probably the most disappointing part of the game. Like she was bad, but she wasn't like Kessler or oh my god, I forgot his name. What's his name?
John White?
No,
Beast?
No, in 2.
Oh.
The dictator, basically. I loved him.
Oh,
Such a bad villain. Such a good villain. Holy cow, what is his name? I had a brain fart. I can't remember the villain's name. I'm freaking out right now.
Oh,
Wolf. No, that's the professor. I have to check this out now.
Google that sucker.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, pick the next game. Let's go.
Yeah, sure. I'll see what I don't know if there's something more here I've played. Ah, I have played this.
I was gonna bring Bayonetta.
Wolfenstein. Has anybody played this?
Oh, yes.
He's played it, and I tried it
I
out.
love it.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
I gotta admit, because I played.
No complaints.
Yeah,
No complaints.
I played the New Order, or not New Order. I mean, what was that one? This is Wolfenstein back when. And this one like kicked that one's butt like way, man. I mean, the opening level was like better than anything.
Bertrand.
Ah, you're right.
Bertrand was such a good villain, and I felt that the new villain, she wasn't like memorable to me.
Not really.
She was really bad. Like,
Yeah, she was evil.
She was an evil woman, but
She
she
wasn't-
wasn't memorable. Like
Yeah,
Bertrand for me, like he was the
Super bad.
the epitome of infamous villain. Great game, by the way.
Awesome.
This was great because I mean the opening level was just insane.
Yeah.
Action from the
It
get-go.
really was.
Yeah, just from the beginning to the end, it was excellent. So yes, pick this one up.
And then
I
the
mean, this
branching
is great.
storylines too.
Yeah, like you could save one guy over the other and it changes
And
certain things.
like
It was great.
just really high replay value.
Oh, great day,
I love
yeah.
that game.
Yeah, definitely. And it did something that they hadn't done in a long time, like with any games, is like actually having to pick up the ammo and stuff,
Yeah.
which is like a Fallout mechanic, from like Fallout 3, which I thought was pretty cool. But I don't know, it was really good. It really was. Especially that fight against whatever that big thing is, like later on in the game, and also the
Yeah.
beginning.
That
I
last,
can't remember what
that
they're called.
last battle.
Dang, that was ridiculous. It was awesome. Get this one, because it's
Yeah.
good. Definitely good. Pick it. Pick it
I'll pick it.
up. He's fixing it.
It's fine. Kind of more of the same, but
Yeah, that, I know some people are like, oh, it's horrible, but actually,
I really
it was about,
enjoyed it.
yeah, I did too. I thought it was fun. I mean,
it's,
I wouldn't say it was as good as War of Cybertron or
No.
like that,
but
or Fall of Cybertron.
it kind of
But
Yeah,
it
mixed.
was
sure,
fun.
there's
Yeah, it's kind of like
It kind
a,
of mixed
the
it.
water.
Yeah.
There
It kind of
is-
mixed like the new Transformers with
with
like
the
the
old,
movie game.
yeah, or
I don't
yeah,
think
with
there's
the,
any-
yes, what were the,
Lots of
yeah, like the Cybertron versions, I guess, like you'd say.
I'll use this
kinda
caffeine.
Game version.
if you like the movie games and you like the War for Cybertron, it kind of mixes them together.
Yeah. Cool.
I need to get on board because I have not played a Transformer game.
Oh god.
Really? None of them?
No, and I need to, and it's ridiculous because I
Yeah,
love
you need to
Transformers.
play it. 'Cause it's
I love the
actually
cartoon. I love the movies. I don't know why I don't have a Transformers game. Like,
Oh man.
someone explain that to me. Out of all the games I have, why don't I have
I
Transformers?
can explain that. Well, you don't have to get the first one, Transformers the game.
I know.
I'm trying to remember the really good one.
This is-
Revenge
this
of
is-
Fallen's
Yep,
pretty
that's-
good.
This is what I wanted
Revenge
to.
of Fallen.
But the really good ones is Fall of Cybertron and War for Cybertron. Those
Yes.
are great.
Yes, the Fall of Cybertron was the one that
As
I
far
thought
as
was-
movie-based ones go, Revenge of the Fallen is the best. The other ones, you don't have to play those. The Revenge
Just
of the
imagine
Fallen,
those didn't exist.
yeah.
I'm gonna get a couple out of the
Or
way.
you can-
with
you
the
can acknowledge
3DS
them,
real
but-
quick.
Yeah, because honestly,
because-
I hate to say this. Don't hate me. I haven't played my 3DS at all this year.
There's good
I'm gonna-
games.
I'm gonna get
for
the-
it, though.
I'm gonna get-
I believe it. I absolutely believe
I'm gonna
it.
get the quick ones out of the way, the ones that aren't so good, or the ones that are good, but they're like. The first one is terrible. I just picked this up. It was only $19. It came out this year, and I was like, it's a game that came out this year. I need a 3DS game to tide me over to the next game. So, and it's a crossover. Scooby-Doo the Looney Tunes Cartoon Universe Adventure.
Sounds amazing.
It does sound amazing. It looks amazing. However, it's not actually a crossover. It's two games in one
Oh god.
where you make a character who does
Oh,
not
God.
talk. He has no personality.
Oh dear god.
He never even shows up in the cutscenes.
No!
It's the new Looney Tunes, not the old Looney Tunes.
Ah!
It's the new voice actors. And that's cool. I guess it's targeted towards kids. However, I'm gonna go out here and say this. I played some really kid games like Go Diego Go Dinosaur Rescue. And that's a game you can't even get hurt on. You can't die. But guess what? That has good level design, it has good music, it has good characters, and it teaches you things. This game has really terrible level design. Bad music, bad voice actors, forgettable characters, and that is sad coming from a game that has Looney Tunes and Scooby-Doo.
Yeah,
It's
very
terrible.
bad.
And I would not enjoy this if I was a kid. And I'm telling you, like, if you give this to a child, they're not going to have that much fun with this game. I don't understand where this even came from.
Are you saying it's the game of the year?
Well, no
It
offense.
is, it totally is. Like, it has to be.
Well, the games that we played when we were kids were Dragon Ball Z and Kingdom Hearts and like.
Well, that's true. But I mean, like, either way you look at it, this is not what
Good.
you want.
At all.
And the worst part is there's collectibles, which may add a hint of replay value. Here's the problem. You get a lot of coins throughout the level. By the time you're done, you should have enough, if you collect all the coins along the way, to buy everything you can unlock by playing the level.
Wow.
So there is no point of collecting them. You can just purchase them.
So there's no point.
And
no
all it
need.
does is dress up your character who has no role in the game except for to move you from level to level.
Well,
The
that
next
game
one.
belongs to this game.
No. That one is better. But anyways, this is another bad one. Unfortunately.
Oh, really? The
See,
Teenage
now,
Mutant Ninja
I've gotta-
Turtles?
that's why I didn't buy that game. That game
I was hoping. I gave it a shot. Bad textures.
What,
Really?
what happened to Turtles games? That's what I want.
Like the screen. It's like top down almost, and it's a beat 'em up, but the move sets are sucky. Let me tell you the best part about this. Is they have an RPG element for each turtle. Each turtle can level up, and as you level up, you can unlock each one has a skill tree based on based on their respective weapons. So that's cool. If they were to take that and put it into like another Turtles game, it would be good.
It'd be pretty good.
And the level designs are stupid, like stupid. And then, I'm gonna spoil this. The end boss fight
Go ahead.
is Shredder, of course, if you watch the movie.
Oh my gosh, it's such a surprise.
So after you beat Shredder, he turns into the first boss. So you have to beat the first boss again.
What?
Then after you beat that boss, he turns back into Shredder. So you have to fight Shredder again. Then after that, he turns into the second boss, and then the third boss. Then after that, he turns into shadow clones of the turtles that chase you around. You have to fight yourself. And it's so stupid. Then you gotta fight Shredder again. Just to beat the game. And if you
It's really
die,
weird.
there is no checkpoints. You have to go back to
Oh
the
my
first
god.
boss fight.
Can we just throw that out now?
Now this one is a good one, Disney's Magical World, but I don't figure I'm going to talk about it much. There's a lot to do. It's basically, if you like Animal Crossing or Harvest Moon style games, pick up this because it's Disney characters and you can play as your me and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you're running around Disney World and you get to own your own cafe in the kingdom and things like that. And you get to meet the actual Disney characters. And there are a lot of Disney characters. There's a lot of stuff to do. So it's a lot like Harvest Moon.
Disney.
Well, that's all you gotta say.
It is all
Yeah,
I say.
Disney
It's
movie.
good.
That's enough said.
And the last
We
one's
love
Mario
everything
Golf World
Disney.
Tour. I don't play many sports games. This is probably my favorite sports games I played this
The
year.
golf game, that's good.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
All the Mario Golfs are
Is
good.
that possible?
Yes. And this
Mario.
I like this one.
Yeah, I
I
think
spent a
Mario
lot of
and
time in
anything
this
is
one, and I
pretty
didn't
active
think
a
I
little
would
bit.
spend a lot of time in this one because I usually don't spend a lot of time in Mario Golf games, but I did in this one. And a lot of people, even Greg Miller from IGN, he spent like over 200 hours in this, and I'm not even joking. He tweeted the picture of his 3DS
Let me ask you
screen.
this, it says World Tour. How much of the world do you get to
Yeah,
tour?
The
You can go
entire
rush.
Mushroom Kingdom and more realistic courses as
No,
well.
the Mushroom Kingdom. That is a
The
World
entire
Tour.
world.
Like I think there's like a level set for basically every character
Oh,
that you
okay.
can unlock, plus additional levels.
So do you consider the Mushroom Kingdom to be a immediate part of the world?
Yes.
All right.
And so I did 4 right there just to get some of those 3DS games out of the way. So you want to pick one, Andrew?
Yeah. Thank you. Hold on.
So what you guys have missed is we've already talked about all these games. We got to talk about all these games. And we kind of got off.
And
that
if
one,
you don't
that
like what we
Yeah,
say, you
I'm
can
using
use
it.
the skim and
Exactly.
stuff off.
No,
That's the best use of
And-
that game we'll ever do.
Yeah.
we have to. We just kind of got off topic for a little
Way
bit
off topic.
about
Oh.
Kingdom Hearts. We all kind of went fangirl here. So
That's
Yeah.
strange. That like never happens.
we are so focused on this podcast. Okay, so now that we're back on track, we were talking about Hyrule Warriors. What we're doing is we're going around the table and we're each just picking a game and talking about it. So, Andrew picked last Hyrule Warriors.
Great Wii U game. Really good. I enjoyed it.
I'm still enjoying it.
I don't know if it's like, obviously since it's not made by the Legend of Zelda creators anyways, that it could live up
Well,
to...
It was actually.
It was.
Well,
It's made and developed by Tecmo Koei and
they were
Team
really
Ninja,
involved.
but the creators of Zelda were like there
Oh,
almost every step of the way. So
Yeah, I even read in an interview that like the people making it were almost going to make it like more Zelda-like, but he's like, no, we make it more.
I mean, it's a breath of fresh air for Zelda, but
I think it is for actually both series.
yeah.
Because for Zelda fans who haven't played Dynasty Warriors, you're getting a brand new gameplay experience with Zelda. And for the Dynasty Warriors fans,
You're getting Zelda.
you're getting the Zelda world. So it's a good change up for both people, I think.
I agree. I would easily submit that as a Wii U game of the year for certain. Wouldn't have any trouble imagining that.
I like the replay value on this.
Oh yeah, good replay
It's
value.
ridiculous.
Smash Bros.
And then Amiibo's adding even more to it. So it's like, am I ever going to be able to take this out of my system?
I think it's hot too.
Both burn.
It's body.
You want to click
Just
the air
the body.
conditioner on?
Yeah.
Because like I can't.
It's the body.
We're starting to get hot.
The hotness at the table.
We're all-
It was the
starting to
Kingdom
get
Hearts
hot.
talk.
It really was.
Ah, yes. it
Yeah,
was.
See, me and you were burning up.
The Kingdom Hearts talk just got everybody hot. We're all hot.
Yeah, it made us get all excited.
We're all
It's
hot
up to
about it.
conversation.
Oh, that feels good.
Okay. So who's picking next? Drew. You pick a game to talk about.
Okay, well let's talk about Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong.
I love it.
It's a good one.
I played the old one, and it was real tough. I heard this one. Is this one tougher?
Well, I don't think it's tougher. It's the same.
I really wanted it, but we never got it.
Good
It looks
looking.
awesome. They were talking about all the graphics.
I've been kind of waiting to pick it up too.
Yeah.
I think it's.
You guys are missing out. I'm just telling you.
I think it's probably.
Like
You've
every
got
time-
you've got a Wii U.
Yeah.
This is one of the best games on it.
I passed by and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get it.
If you like
It's not
platformers, this is like the king of platformers. Like I describe it on a chart from Donkey Kong to what was the? I had a third one. I can't remember for platforms, but difficulty. It's like Donkey Kong is like at the top and Mario is like in the middle for difficulty. So platformer wise, it's amazing. And you can play as Cranky Kong. It's awesome.
Yeah.
He's never been playable before. He should have been in Smash Brothers. I'm just saying.
Get the Duck Hunt Dog, but not Cranky Kong.
He just should have been like, he could have been cool. And the soundtrack is awesome.
About the
Well, you know
ball.
what? Why not? Because it's me. Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright.
You haven't played this yet.
That's a
Still
series
haven't
that I have
got
to
it.
get into as well.
Like,
I didn't even realize it came out. I'm
it,
thinking of the last
it is the best of both. And I've got two games that crossed over here. Okay, this is how you do a crossover. I'm just saying. This game's terrible.
Were you surprised by that?
No, I thought it was going to be playable though.
Oh,
That's the problem.
not even playable.
Like, Pilot Wings took me on the 3DS 2.5 hours to beat. This game took me an hour and a half.
Wow.
And it
That's
wasn't
sad.
rewarding.
You should probably raise your bar of expectations a little bit higher.
I didn't expect that much, and
That's
it
a
let me
weird
down
looking
even
creature.
though.
What is it, like a parrot, monkey, demon thing?
I don't know.
It's a parrot monkey
Expectations
demon.
aren't very high.
I don't even know what
But with this game,
tune that's supposed
my
to be.
favorite part is that, like, I've played a bunch of Phoenix Wright games. So there is so much, like, this is a Phoenix Wright game. But it's not just Phoenix Wright games. It is Professor Layton, because when you are Layton, it is his game. When you're Phoenix, it's his game. And when they're together, it's both of their games. So it's like,
That's what I like to see. Don't share it.
yes,
It
they
teaches
share
you
it.
good
They,
values.
they don't fight over it. They don't share it. Not, there's no one that takes over the majority of the time. The box art says it all. And even on the back, it's like half and half. and with the main character, Spella, in the middle.
Yes.
So, and it makes sense. And the way they have separate stories at the start, again, then get intertangled in the middle is beautiful. And I just love it. And the whole game has you guessing, like, how is what's going on possible? How is this real? It can't be real. Because
That's odd.
I haven't played,
Lots of artists are saying anything.
but that's just what I love about it. And it's amazing. It's a great game. Great visual novel. You need to play it, and you need to start a series.
I do.
And I need to go back and start the Professor Layton series now. This might actually be a great entry point for you to test out both.
Yeah, that way you
Because they introduce the characters
And
so
they're not
well,
sort
you
of
don't
like,
Well,
have
spoil
to...
anything for me.
I don't know.
It's pretty much you don't have to play
Let me
the
tell you,
class
there's
past
if you
games,
don't play
just
the
hop right
Phoenix
in.
Wright games first, there's one moment that is not going to mean as much to you as it would if you played the previous ones.
But you don't
That's
have
the
to
only-
play previous.
Okay.
No. They introduce the characters so well and their personalities and their traits that this is a good entry point. Except for that one thing. That one thing, it's still going to be shocking because of the way they build up their characters.
You're just not going to get the gravity of it.
Right.
Kind of like in comic book movies, after you watch the teaser, if you haven't read comic books, you're just like, oh, some person. But people who read the comics are like, oh, it's that guy.
There
Okay.
he is.
So,
There you are.
It is your turn.
There you are, guy.
it's your turn,
I'm
David.
excited now.
Well, I haven't played this one yet, but I'm really thinking about it.
Okay.
I'm into that style of games.
This one is along the same lines of Phoenix Wright over there. It's a great game. It is right up your alley. Has anybody played Crumbs Punishment? Okay. This is my favorite thing about this game.
He's played them all.
Not everything, no. This stack right here is
Yeah,
like
I'm pretty much
like
honest,
everything-
except for like 2 games.
and Plants vs.
I've
Zombies.
got
That's
I haven't played the
Sherlock Holmes.
It's
They do something
completely
interesting.
different, man.
It's completely
It's
different.
a completely different game.
Oh.
Well, I mean,
That's pretty much all there is to say about that one. Like, we can go ahead and eliminate it. Like, it's Plants vs. Zombies, but it's a third-person shooter and it's online only.
Oh.
Yeah, that's going to keep you from getting that one online only.
And it's by EA, so the servers are going to shut down.
Yeah, in a
eventually,
year.
and, like,
Then it'll be
if I don't
worthless.
play it like before the Game Awards, like, you know what's going to happen? Like, I'm not going to get to because there's not going to be any online servers, so it's going to be a piece of crap.
When you see it at GameStop rating, that sense, you know what happened.
Yeah.
That's good to
Just
know.
remember, EA, we love you. Except we actually hate you.
No.
That's the best way to put that.
The worst
They
game
screw up
company,
Battle
like
Front,
they got
I'll
the
kill
worst
'em.
business company of the year, like
3 or 4 years in a row.
yeah.
Like,
Like,
and they're up for
not just
nomination
against game, not just
whoever's
against
voting
game
on that.
companies, but companies in general.
Yeah.
was there two
They went
Smash
up
Brothers
against
3Ds?
Walmart and Time Warner Cable
There is two.
And they
and other people like that.
There's
they-
two of them.
Monster 2.
I got one for me, one for Avery.
Oh,
That makes perfect sense.
So we can we can fight each other. Multiplayer, man.
so whenever you guys have an argument,
We settle
We
with
said
Smash.
Yeah. That is a good idea, and I would win every single time.
I have a copy of Smash in there as well if you want me to bring it. Then we'll
No.
have 3 copies.
But we need to play that later. But what did you think about Crumbs Punishment?
You want my honest opinion?
Yes.
Not if it
When
hurts.
you're non-honest.
Not if it hurts.
Yeah, non-honest. Be the biggest liar you can possibly be right now.
yes.
It was the best game I've ever played in my
I'll
life.
buy it.
Buy it.
Alright, now go if you're honest.
Truthfully, I liked it a lot. It was really good. It reminded me so much of LA Noire.
Oh, I'm so.
Ooh.
Right there made me want to get it. The only problem I had with it is just it felt very jumbled up. Like the story just was very
Yeah,
jumbled
because
up.
it's like if you're reading the books as individual cases. It's like
Yeah.
this is case 1 is a book, case 2 is a book, and the characters.
Oh my God! We're gonna die!
That would be the battery.
That's it. So Sherlock, it was good. I just think the story was very jumbled up. Like you said, it was like almost like a different book every time it started.
So
I
was
felt
less
like
of
that
an
kept
overarching-
fresh.
Was there an overarching story at all that they tried to tell, or was it just a bunch of separate stories?
Sort of.
It had one.
Oh.
It didn't really.
Not
Seems
that
like it
was
probably
problem.
would have been better off if they didn't do that.
Not to the sense of that you would feel like people would directly notice it. But each case kind of relates to the last. they make a lot of Easter egg and references to their previous games because they got a lot from the same company.
I mean, it was probably the best Sherlock game I've played in a long time, but
Shit, way back.
And
Still way back.
like I said about the loading times, 'cause I think the camera was off when I said that.
Thank you.
I love the fact that you never have to let your game load actually, just like that.
Well, I mean, it's loading. It's like,
Well,
it's
it's
like
loading,
the
but you
elevators
won't-
in
you won't
Mass
notice.
Effect,
Yeah.
which a lot of people hated, but I prefer that to a screen myself. In Mass Effect 1, to mask loading times, they made you sit in the elevator
Yeah, the
for 15
elevator.
minutes,
Oh god.
like in real life.
Yeah.
In Mass Effect 2, though, they just popped up a screen with charts and stuff, and I preferred the elevator because at least
Yeah.
then I'm like, I mean, I can move the camera around. Or
That's
something.
true.
I get tired of looking at
Or like on a
like
screen where you're
slideshow.
running.
Yeah, you just run
I
forever.
like
Just
interactive.
randomly swing your sword and stuff.
At least somewhat interactive loading screen.
Mass Effect, though, I can't wait for that.
I'm going to pick.
Did you have to leave this time?
yeah, I'll leave. I'll leave here soon.
I'm gonna tell you,
I'll be-
past 3.
Yeah, I'll
Kirby
leave.
Triple Deluxe.
I'll probably leave about 3:15.
I love Kirby. I'm a huge fan
5
of Kirby.
minutes.
But I'm a huge fan of Kirby, and this one introduces his most powerful attack ever, called the Hypernova. Up until this point,
You want to see it, Drew?
Kirby.
Sure.
Up until this point, Kirby can only suck up certain enemies.
Oh, I thought you said I love that guy. I love that guy. I thought that's what he was
Maybe he
saying.
does love that guy.
So you can just suck up everything?
He is
Now, when you have the Hypernova
Yeah, like
ability,
they
nothing
I love that guy.
cannot
I love
be
that guy.
absorbed. Nothing.
I love that guy.
So, you remember the Willow Tree boss?
Yeah.
Like it's like the first level of every Kirby? You don't fight him in this game. You suck him up.
Really?
Yes, and that's how powerful it is. And I love it. It's a good game. It's short, but that's how Kirby games are supposed to be. It's easy. That's how Kirby games are supposed to be.
Short and simple.
And it has a lot of replay value because there's so many modes. Like in the Super Nintendo version, there's multiple modes. So it's a good game. Sunset Overdrive. My favorite part about this game is that they know, all the characters know they're in a video game. The jokes and the script that they play off of that is hilarious. Like the final boss is taunting you like, you don't want to beat me because you know what happens. There's no more plot twist. If you beat me, the game is over, and I know you don't want that, so just give up. Don't beat me. And he makes a valid point. It's like, I don't want the game to be over. Maybe I shouldn't be. It's like, it's typical.
Saints Row mixed with Infamous with guns.
Exactly, pretty much.
That's basically what Sunset Overdrive is.
It's got a lot of the humor, like the dry, crude humor that you would find in Borderlands too.
Yep.
There's a lot of that.
It's so funny. Sunset Overdrive is really funny. I don't think it's as funny as Borderlands, but I mean, you definitely can tell they get some of that humor from it. But it's really good. It's probably.
And it is a fantastic Xbox One.
Oh yeah.
Like
I
I haven't played that many, but so far it's my favorite, and I think it would be out of everything that's out right now,
I don't.
which is good.
I want them to be like how. I want Sunset to be what a lot of the places exclusive are. Microsoft needs a Xbox exclusive that makes them people want to jump to them.
See, I've been saying that for a long time. Microsoft needed more first-party games,
And I will be
and
honest.
they're giving us to them.
I'll be
That makes
really-
me very happy.
I'll be
Yeah,
really
they had was
disappointed.
Halo.
Yep.
After pretty much almost every Bungie.
Well, I mean, they have several, but not as many as others, and they need
Yeah.
more.
And they're not.
They're less
Like,
prominent about it. Like,
Yeah.
they're like, we made this, but they don't be like, look, we made this. It's just like, good luck.
this one, I think they really were like.
Probably because
yeah,
Bill
we
Gates
totally
is like, oh, my pocket is so full of money, I can't put any more in there. Guess I better just.
I'll pay you guys.
Next.
You gonna talk about it twice?
Well, technically
PS1
one for
for the
3DS, one for
3DS.
Wii U.
I really like how the Wii U has like so much more.
So flipping excited for the Wii U one.
Yes. Yeah. That's
Like the 3DS one is just like, this is the appetizer.
yeah, pretty
For the
much.
main course.
I know. Because I mean, how many more? Like they have a whole lot more characters. They have a bunch more.
Basically,
Well,
this is what you get when you can't feasibly take your Wii U because you don't have a power plug-in for it. Otherwise, you just take that with you on the subway or whatever.
Yeah.
I actually was really sad. There's something I had to say on that
Smash
set
all
about
the
Smash
time.
Bros.
What's that?
You get it.
I was really hoping and praying, just this one time, that Rayman would make an appearance on this. I mean, I know he's a third, he's all over the place, but I would think it would be really cool if Rayman.
You know they might because they did a trophy,
Yeah, I saw that.
and they
So it
might
could be
because they're
in-
going to do DLC, and Mewtwo is already announced as DLC.
So that would be my Smash character, like a heartbeat. Like I love playing as Link, but in a heartbeat, if Rayman was DLC, I would just grab him. I would never part ways with Rayman. I love Rayman. I love Rayman. Sorry.
There's so much good about Smash Brothers. I can't wait for the Wii version.
Guys, we're obsessing about Smash Brothers. It's not even that good. So. Josh?
All right, my turn.
Yay!
I know. Cut off. I'm still in the sun.
It's
Changing
amazing.
from econ to regular. Or econ to cool, like mode.
No. Okay, it's on
Econ
econ
mode
right
full-
now.
Sounds like we're in a spaceship.
It's on
Yes,
econ.
turn it to
So what do you want it
econ.
on?
Change it to like cool.
You sound like the
whatever it's
penguins from Madagascar.
Fan only or full?
What?
You sound like the penguins
No,
from Madagascar.
turn it to econ right now.
There we go.
I'm not gonna sit here and wait all day
of
on
the
it.
new penguin movie.
To what?
Penguins from Madagascar. Has anyone seen that trailer yet?
Yes, I have.
It's actually, I was laughing my head off when he was just eating that. We're secret organization.
That was funny.
It was really good. Okay.
Okay, so I have not played any of the Borderlands, actually, none of them. But I have to because I'm actually getting ready to get all three of them here. I told Kevin I would do it, so I've got to do this here soon. But how is it? Because everybody says they're good. But I'm
Awesome.
They're
I haven't
probably
played
the
it
worst
yet.
games you'll ever play.
Well, good. No, I'm going.
I haven't played it yet, but I really want to. I love Borderlands. It's definitely one of my favorite first-person shooters ever, and I'm not ashamed at all to admit that. It's so fun.
A little bit of both.
It's what I like about it is it's like cell shading. So kind of like Wind Waker. This game, 10 years from now,
It's
is
gonna
going to look fresh. It's going to look like it's brand new
Yeah.
because of that.
It's good.
I like cell shading things makes things stand out to time better.
Yeah.
But what I love so much about Borderlands the game, like, it doesn't take itself too seriously, but at the same time, it has a story to tell you without. It's a lot like Sunset. Like it's funny, and there's a lot of just out loud humor. You're gonna laugh out loud humor.
It's kind of like realistic situations.
Yeah.
Like characters, they act realistically. They act like
what
we would react.
No offense, it's kind of like how people say that Alfred in the Batman universe is everyone is like every normal person. It's just like I'm stuck in this weird situation of these superheroes and supervillains. Claptrap is that of humans because Claptrap is basically like this is all really weird, but I'm just here having a good time. This is really weird. Why are you pointing a gun at me? You're totally gonna shoot me. And it's just he acknowledges every crazy thing that you do, and that's what I love so much about Claptrap.
And pre-sequel, you can play as him,
Just amazing.
and it's fantastic. And
I would totally celebrate Claptrap's birthday party with her, for the record.
I love it. Like his special attacks, like he throws a miniature him out with a disco ball and it's dancing and it distracts everybody. Like they think that's him, so they're all trying to shoot that, and it's just a hologram. And just little things like that. When you run out of ammo, he's like, bullets are dumb. I love it. It's hilarious. It's great. It's so great.
Okay.
It's a good online game too. I played a lot of online.
Yeah.
So
It was me.
who's next?
I chose the pre-sequel.
Oh boy.
While you're picking the pre-sequel, how that works is the main story.
It's a
where you
prequel
start
and a
out.
sequel at the same time, right?
Yes,
That's what it
like
is.
the story that's happening.
It's
is
kind of like Lion
Lost.
King 1.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In between
It's
one
like-
and two.
But like the story at the beginning is the sequel, and you get glimpses of that all throughout the game. But the story that you're playing happens before.
Yeah.
So basically, the main characters are telling the events of what happens, and that's happening currently. That's like Borderlands 3. And this one is like before the one you're actually playing. So that's how it works. And it constantly switches between the two. But it makes sense when you play it. It's like if you were watching an episode of Lost or something.
That kind of
So is it kind of like, should you play it third or in between one and two? Because I'm going to play all three of them in order.
You can.
That
I would
works.
play the first two first
Okay.
because
Yeah.
you're not going to
Nice
have
order.
as much intel. Like when it switches back over to where it's the sequel, there's a lot of information gap between that.
Okay, so you actually play like a current timeline in that, right?
Yes.
And it goes between
Yeah.
like
Well,
present and
sort of.
past.
Maybe.
The
play-
story,
you
like
play
the
a
cutscenes and
piece
stuff,
between
that's
first and
present
second.
day. And then the gameplay is what they're telling.
So you're saying it's got pre and then it's got a sequel.
Yeah, it's a prequel
So it's
and a
not
sequel.
necessarily a pre-sequel. It's
No,
a
that's
pre
why they
and a
have
sequel.
So you never actually play in the
Yeah,
present,
it's a sequel
right?
to the pre.
No.
So,
pre-sequel.
So it's
But
pretty
when
much
they're talking, it actually takes
all
place
characters
after.
Ah.
Yeah.
It's not a
That's
pre-sequel.
weird.
It's a pre and a sequel.
yeah. So you play through the pre part,
And,
but they're talking about it in the sequel.
Yeah. So,
So,
all the
it's in the
characters.
future. They're talking about it.
Yeah.
But the sequel also goes into pre part. Correct. So.
Okay.
So just for the record, we explained this out with extraordinary details. This is
Yes.
how we are all geniuses.
Half-Life 3 confirmed. We've been doing that like all night. It's not even funny. Like all night we've been doing it. Like, oh, this game, there's the number 3, and this is Mario's Time Machine, and it's on the NES, not the SNES.
Oh, yeah,
That has to mean Half-Life 3 is
Half-Life 3
confirmed.
confirmed.
E equals MC squared. Half-Life 3 confirmed.
That's the answer to what?
That's all we've been doing. But anyways, go ahead.
Why is Valve afraid of the number 3?
I don't know. But, like, I'm
It's
serious.
like Portal.
Like, I haven't played Half-Life, so I don't care about that as much. I want Portal 3.
See, they care more about
I don't want. I want like
Half-Life
16 portals. I want a lot of portals.
You know what's making me mad?
Yeah.
Where the heck is Fallout?
I agree with that statement.
I'm done.
He is behind. Like he hasn't.
Which one?
He has
The
not
Fallout game or
experienced.
Fallout
Like he has
Yeah.
experienced. He started Fallout 3.
I think
No
this
New
is actually
Vegas,
the first
and the Elder
big thing
Scrolls
that we've ever
hasn't finished them.
completed.
Yep.
He's behind.
Then Skyrim Fallout.
Oh,
That
was like-
It'll probably be your your favorite RPG
You
of all
do like a
time.
bunch of stuff.
Half-
No,
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts is my favorite, but Skyrim is definitely up
messed
there.
up.
It's really up
Well,
there.
I'm going to get to
I wish I could have finished it.
the fall gaming season first. Once that's over.
Like most of the time.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I always liked Herman's movie. How's this one?
Then I go upstairs and lift weights to about 6.
Thumbs up.
It's amazing.
Come down and eat seven.
No.
About 9. to
This
about
one gets you
2 in the
started
morning.
quicker. And it keeps introducing new concepts quicker than other Harvest Moon games. So before you're even out of spring, you've shipped over 100 crops, and you've got your barn and stuff
So this
started.
one gets you running.
Yeah.
It does, and that's cool.
Does
And
it guide you more though?
Yeah.
It does.
Less free. So you're that's sort of lessons. I'd
It's
say.
always kind of blurry when you
I mean, for
finally
me,
finish it up.
people would probably play up a lot. Probably not.
Effects on it.
It- well, I mean,
Effects on it. I guess
like
it's
the
pretty
tutorial is
cool.
interesting. Like the
Yeah.
tutorial is part of the
Brings
story.
down the
To
quality.
release the first harvest, right, you have to. They teach you how to plant stuff and water stuff and take care of crops. Then he comes out and it just gets you started. And basically, after that first tutorial, you're free to do whatever. So it's
You got that, like 6 hours.
it gets you started quick, and it's really cool because it reminds me a lot of the old games.
It's like 3 seconds.
Or
Yeah.
Like seriously, there is a shot where Michael,
Go.
Joe, and Gabe
By the demo waiting on
Really?
it.
Right? And it's so weird because
This is a good game. It's
And
Guitar Hero
Caleb
meets
shoots
Final Fantasy.
and
Joe
Joe
just you asked me.
Caleb
RPG,
shoots twice. You shoot
music rhythm
once,
game.
and Joe shoots.
and
right?
this is the
Well, it
this
all
has got to be the
happens
best
where
music rhythm game.
They
on
both
the
got
3DS.
shotguns, so I have to put
God,
in smoke.
so many portable games.
Shotguns, you know,
Yeah.
just the
Only
only
problem
they
is
just
go
poof,
somewhere.
nothing
The
else.
3DS, I'm telling you,
So they
there's
have
a lot
to
of
have
games.
spread. So
A
I
lot
make
of
sure
good
to
ones.
spread out and then put in smoke.
That one would be in my top 10 if it wasn't for like
That
all
is
of these
5
awesome
gunshots.
ones.
And 2 of them need to be tracked.
This one's an honorable mention.
That's like juice that means,
Yeah.
right? Because like gunshots are like,
Yeah. I mean, literally.
Only got a couple left. We don't know. I want to tell you exactly.
Yeah, I'm
and you're
sitting
sitting there for almost
3 hours.
Yeah.
No, this happens.
You
It's
stay on
fine.
just at the same
Pac-Man and the Ghost
so
of
much.
Adventures 2.
I mean, like that shot I showed you was like
It's a lot like the Pac-Man World
like
Series,
4 or
but
5
with the new
Pac-Man
Pac-Man characters.
Fire.
And
Oh,
my only
We're
disappointment.
gonna do it before I leave. We're gonna do it.
Yeah, it's
I gotta
This
go.
one,
Yeah, I gotta go.
It has more worlds and more to do than the first
I'll leave it
game.
cheap.
that hurts.
Sorry, I love you guys too much. I can't leave
Is
you.
this sort of like a spiritual successor to the
Pac-Man
Pac-Man
World,
World?
yes. I would say it is. It's just as fun as those.
Okay.
My only problem is I like the old school Pac-Man better than the new one. But that doesn't mean it's not a good character.
It's
still
point that
cool.
we're doing another sword fight.
It's
So
it's
try to
weird. Like this is
solve it.
weird. Like
And
I watched the TV show too,
And I say
and
that
he's
about-
friends with his original enemies. He's friends with Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Clyde. They're technically good guys, and it's weird. they
I love my
helped
job,
him
but I
before.
really
Yeah.
But
Oh, maybe it's changed.
like they work with him on some things, but only because they have an urge to get their bodies
I
back.
had more fun there, so.
Anyways,
I had more
the
fun.
one complaint I have with this game is it says on the back there's a lot of new power-ups. There's
Oh,
not.
I know, it's gonna be.
Their new power-ups are you get to turn into like Pac-Zilla, which is a giant version of Pac-Man. That's only one level.
Totally counts.
Pac Kong instead of King Kong.
You
I'm
ever
gonna
think
book
that
it,
when they invented, you know, the
with
old
me,
Pac-Man
that way you guys
villains,
get discounts
yes,
on
that there was
stuff.
a Pac-Zilla.
Yeah.
No.
Like, I'm still.
But this is cool though.
What has
The
happened?
Pac-Man world happened
All
and
the
these
right
games came out.
Oh,
It's a good game. It's a cheap game too. It's only like $20 or something like
That's
that.
right.
So it's like it's worth it. Like this is a $20 game, and this is a $20 game.
That's not worth it.
Well,
This is worth
we
it.
can still attempt to cancel
This one's
it. I
not.
hate to cancel it though.
Yeah.
I'll talk to her about it though. Okay, so before I leave,
Oh, God.
we're gonna do it, and it
Oh,
burns
no.
my hand.
Oh. Okay, look.
It burns.
I won't
Game of
say.
the year.
I won't say anything.
Well, you're supposed to, if you can't say anything good, you don't say anything at all. Yeah. So let's have a moment of silence.
Moment of silence, everyone. Don't even bow your heads.
I'm gonna be the first.
All right, let it all out. Go ahead.
I'm gonna be the first to compliment this game. But
I'll give a compliment.
directly after the compliment, I'm going to give you my biggest criticism.
Oh, okay.
The guy.
Um,
Big
How about someone tells me what
It
it
actually
is?
turned on.
it's a stealth-based It's a stealth-based game. It is an older franchise that Square Enix has brought back. They've tried this twice already. It came out originally on the PC, and it came out on the
I
original
played
Xbox.
that one, the old one.
And then now there's this one. This is it's a stealth-based game, and when you start out, you feel like a thief. The first level, or first couple levels, it's a good feeling.
Well,
it's like when you first put in Sly Cooper. You know, you feel stealthy. You feel like, okay, this is cool.
Except
you feel
like
you're.
Cooper kept that consistent throughout the entire
Yes,
series.
And the storyline is consistent with that. But then, the story drowns itself. Let's put it this way. In the words of Shigeru Miyamoto, sometimes less is more. That's what he describes when he's talking about Mario and storylines. And this game, unfortunately, suffers from it. Because the story gets crazy to the point where the gameplay stops being enjoyable.
Just
The
for
gameplay stops. You're a thief, and then you're fighting supernatural
For the Kingdom
creatures.
story.
I know.
No.
That's exactly what I was saying.
That doesn't happen.
For the record, I have never stopped playing a game on purpose in the middle of a game. I've never, ever stopped. Like, I always try to see it
I
through.
almost couldn't finish it.
I
because
stopped
of it.
playing. I couldn't handle it anymore. That never happens to me.
It was
Like
just-
I did enjoy.
I wasn't stuck.
Story, because I'm in Square Enix. They make like
I
It's
just,
usually
best
have good
stories,
stories.
yeah.
I said,
And
if I
then, and
finish
the worst part, the
then I'm
ending,
fine.
and I'm not going to spoil it, but the ending after
Why
you beat
not?
it, you're
Just
like,
no one's gonna play it.
but it's like when you beat it, it leaves you there, and you're like, that's not an ending. You're like, that is not an ending. That was the end to a chapter, maybe. But you know how when you finish Kingdom Hearts 1, there was all these open, unanswered questions? Okay, no, it answered no questions. There wasn't some unanswered.
So lost.
Like, it was like, I don't even know what's going on anymore. That's it.
Like I said,
That's weird,
They're
man.
like, oh wow, we didn't expect. It's like
If you-
back
if
in
you
the
wanna play,
arcade days. You know, they never made an ending because they didn't think anyone would get it.
You win.
You didn't think anyone would ever play this long.
And it's not fair.
We didn't know such a thing as a gamer.
You know, there's actually this Pac-Man like
Oh, yeah.
where you have it to your TV. And its main selling point is that you can automatically go to that like unfinished final level.
What?
Do what?
I hated it so bad that I said if I make myself sit through this, I will stop playing games.
Oh my god.
So,
Yeah, he really didn't like it.
I
But
played-
it was
I
a
had to play
disappointment for me
Kingdom
too,
Hearts
because when I
to
first
watch
put it in, I was like, this has got to go in my top 10 this year.
Yeah.
And then by the end of it, I was like, this isn't even going in my honorable mentions. It's not. And that's how quick that fell from grace.
This is now when I said about Destiny Era, it's hard to make a bad game. Not for them.
It's really easy, man.
Yeah.
I never tried.
Compare it like
Well, compared to all the ones we've talked
Yeah,
about, we've only
now-
talked about a couple of bad games.
I mean
Like
it,
Ninja Turtles
But I
and
understand what you're saying.
especially from Acclaim.
Yeah, but
Acclaim
it shows the
development,
loading screens,
Eidos,
you really don't.
and Square Enix.
You don't know.
It's
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 hard to
been
make a
great.
really bad game.
Yeah,
That could have been great.
I see what you're saying.
It's very rare, honestly.
For
And
someone who knows what they're doing, it's like.
And see, like I
If you
even
get all the pieces working,
Remember
it's
that
like,
one?
okay, it works.
yeah,
What was that?
Like I texted Andrew to get his opinion about this midway through the game because midway through the game it started out great and I was already getting like I was like, what's going on? And I even remember recommending it to David before I got to the midway.
What did you do?
That's why he loved it.
I think I told you when you texted me. I was like, meh. It's
Yeah.
like,
I was like, well, I like it. I like it so far. It's pretty good. And I gave him all the reasons I liked it. And then by the end, I was like, those are the same reasons I don't like it
see,
now.
that was my case with David. Like, truthfully, like I checked it out at Redbox while I was down at Disney. I played it, no joke, for 2 hours, and it was just the first level. And like at that moment, I thought it was cool. And then I started to know what was going. Like for it's not really that long of a game. Truthfully, I was kind of shocked that I felt like there should have been more.
It's a game called Thief, and there's a level where you fight ghosts. It's not called Ghostbusters. I'm just saying.
He can be
I'm saying that can work, but I don't know the context.
That's like with
Arkham.
Arkham. I felt so bad with Arkham City.
You are breaking into this place, not to steal things, but to
I felt
save
so bad with
somebody.
Arkham City.
And when you get in there, there's
He
ghosts.
just plays it.
It's like, what the heck?
Well, see, that's what he was just telling me. I go through games really quick.
He does.
And I
Summer,
don't.
we got Assassin's Creed like at the same time.
Oh yeah.
And like he was like texting me or something. He was like, I was like, where in the world are you? Yeah, I was like,
Well, that's like with Arkham City. They kept saying Arkham City is usually like 35 hours long. I'm like, God, this is gonna take me forever. I beat the main campaign within not even a full day. I was like, it's over already. Granted, I didn't do any of the side missions, but I mean,
you would think, yeah.
I was like, come on. Yes.
Aren't there some side
deserved
missions
to
you
be on the
can't
top.
do after you beat the game?
What?
So aren't there some side missions you can't do after you beat the game?
Not really, no. There were a few like the. Well, no.
This seat's warm.
Yes.
I think
Before you
most
go,
of them.
Like, didn't you have to like do them at certain points to start
Well,
off?
the Bane and the Hush one.
Is
It was
that,
better if you did it in the
it
store.
was just bad.
Yeah,
I thought like they were locked off.
No. I think there has been side missions that happened to me. Funny story on Kingdom Hearts.
It happened on
First
camera.
Kingdom Hearts, when I was going through and collecting pieces for the Ultimate Weapon. This was my first playthrough. There's an item that when Oogie Boogie turns into the giant mansion, you have to go collect it. It's actually a curriculum. Little did and like I would remember reading something that I think it was like the guide that says after you beat Oogie Boogie, most of the chest, hint, most of the chest will fall in this little hole where there's actually a Trinity symbol. You can go collect all your rewards. I was like, oh, cool. So
But not all.
by the end of the game, I had collected those rewards already, and I'm missing a curriculum. I'm like, where the heck is this curriculum? So I'm like looking around, I'm researching all this stuff. The curriculum is like on the highest level of where Oogie Boogie's manor is. Okay, so where is it now? And then it said, small print on the guide, if you do not collect during this level, you lose this item. My rage that day was pretty bad.
I remember that.
Because immediately following that, I ranted for about 3 minutes, and then I started a new game and it started all over again.
Oh my god.
Did they have a release date for Kingdom Hearts 3?
And see, I had already used it too because when he warned me about it, I had already passed that part.
Because
Which
like,
sucked.
if you go on
Yeah,
like,
that's really bad.
I was like just searching on games and I saw this thing and it said you could pre-order it.
You can,
Yeah, you can pre-order games
you
that
don't
might
even
have even
know-
come
It's coming
out.
out.
It might come out like, you know,
Like I remember
Like
back
5
when
years
Operation
ago.
Rainfall,
Pre-ordered
I got
Max
that
Payne 3.
pre-ordered.
Max Payne 3, I pre-ordered it for
Back when
from
they said-
G2K, and it was like they delayed it and everything, like for
And
years.
that
They
would
would not give me my
suck.
money back.
That was
Or they
versus
closed
13.
down.
That was versus
I
13.
know, it was in development for like 5 years, I think.
You pre-ordered it from GK and
Yeah,
they
it had a release date, and they like there was no release date. Now I'm like, I want my money, and they're like, we can't do it. It's still coming out.
Versus 13 was like that for me because they kept saying Versus 13 is coming out after 13, after 13-2, after 13-3, and then they announced,
After 13 years.
yep. Then they're like, it's Final Fantasy 15 now. I'm like, why didn't you guys just say that to begin with?
Like you could have probably
Yeah.
pre-ordered LA Noir in the 90s, and G2K wouldn't give you your money back.
Exactly. I was like, okay.
It's coming. It's coming.
All right, guys, I gotta go.